Previously on MDA.
Gotta say, Ella, it's not too bad.
Well, it took you a while to get in here. I've been waiting.
You know that little voice in your head that says, you know, maybe this time not? Mine got laryngitis when I was about 17. The other night was a mistake. Not that anything happened.
Nothing happened, you're right, nothing happened, and it was a mistake. It was a mistake that nothing happened.
I'm getting a distinct feeling of deja vu.
What about?
Female case managers at MDA and the Black Prince.
Feel like a drink?
I don't think so. I'll see you tomorrow.
Patient in 3, you're sending her home.
Yeah. It's urinary tract infection. Dipstick test confirmed. Same as before. The patient has a history of infection. Check the records if you don't believe me.
No. I believe you. Have you done a culture?
It's not necessary. Simple UTI. Trimethoprim will fix it.
Hang on. I told you we needed to do a culture.
She has history. Ask her. She's fine about it. She just wants medication and go home to her husband, family.
Where's the sample?
I drank it.
Mikhail, as long as you're absolutely certain this woman doesn't have pyelonephritis.
Yes.
A culture should have been done, though. It's okay, I'll take care of it. Mrs. McAllister, I'm sorry to do this to you, but you're
Mikhail?
going to give us an answer.
Yeah.
Can I see you in my office after this shift, please?
Sure.
Here are the photographs that you wanted.
Thanks. Right.
Damn, I've left the video at home. I thought I packed it. I can bring it to you in the morning.
It's okay. It's fine. These are good. These are very good.
I was thinking that you probably don't need me to be there.
At mediation, you say? No. Martine, on the contrary, if you're not there, I would not be able to adequately represent you.
I see. I didn't understand, sorry.
Also, having you there, I'll be able to compare these with the way that you are now. What I meant is it will be evident from the way that you're moving to the other party that there is some sort of damage, that's all.
Will the neurosurgeon be there too?
That's up to him and his insurer, but probably not, no.
He favoured the wait-and-see approach. But no way could I lie around to wait and see what happened when an operation could have me back in rehearsals in months.
It's a pity you didn't get a second opinion.
I should have. I didn't know he was,
Numerically challenged?
My surgeon counted down the wrong number of vertebrae and fixed one that's perfectly all right above the one that's wrecked. If it wasn't so serious, it'd be a joke, right?
Come in.
We keep the woman extra 2 hours, run and more tests to confirm that the organism I found with the dipstick is the one we should be treating her for. So we say sorry to the poor tired lady who can't piss another drop.
Yeah, we do. And it's painful for everyone, but a hospital needs consistency when it's treating its patients.
People in the waiting room sit for 9 hours without a single test. The man in the next cubicle has a heart like a horse bolting, and we run more and more tests to make sure we know. What we know is what we know.
You keep this up, Mikhail, you could end up at a disciplinary hearing. And if you lose your job here, you lose the chance to register as a practicing surgeon.
17 years of heart surgery in Russia, and here I do plaster casts and bandages.
If it's any help, I know you're very, very good at what you do.
Thank you. So my chastisement is over? Come dancing with me, Dr. Ella. I'm an accomplished dancer. Fred Astaire.
How come you get the field trip?
Somehow I don't see a trip to Sparrows Creek as being a perk of the job.
So, you think this GP is over-servicing or what?
Dunno. It kind of looks that way.
Amanda, this case might need a doctor's eye as well as your own, so Simon's going with you.
All right.
Bill, I really haven't read anything about the case.
I'll read up in the car.
I can't read in cars.
Last I heard, they'd invented medication for car sickness.
I'll go.
No, I need you here. Enjoy your jaunt. Jamison, what's your experience with ballerinas?
I know they have 5 positions.
Clearly you're going to be invaluable to me.
Thanks, that's great. So I am confident you'll receive adequate compensation. We'll be starting with a figure of around 300,000.
Which means there'll be another figure lower that we'll end up with.
It's possible, yeah. We can discuss that further down the track.
So how long before they make a payment?
Well, we don't want to jump too far ahead. We've still got to get through mediation.
But you must have some idea based on past experience.
Is there any reason why you're in such a hurry for this?
I'm doing a choreography course in New York. They've seen my work and they're really keen to have me there, so I just want to get this all settled before I go.
Right. So is it a difficult course?
And expensive. But it was an area I was always going to move into, so they're holding a place for me.
Sounds good.
Some of the detail on these notes does seem a bit ornate.
It's very entertaining, though. Have a listen to this. June 27. Ted's 80. He lost his license last year, enjoys playing patience and watching reality TV. It's like he sat down to make stuff up and he's just catapulted off the plausibility scale.
This one's good as well here. June 30th, Mario Piero's so worried about landfill, he forgets to eat. Took some cake around and discussed concerns.
It's fantastic. I mean, you could also say that the stories are so implausible that they just have to be true.
I am looking forward to meeting this doctor anyway.
So am I. Check out these times. Gus Buckland is all over the place. Sometimes he visits these people 3 times a week, all hours of the day and night.
I think Medicare was right to issue its please explain.
I'm trying to keep an open mind, but... You know, I don't think we've got that much more time for you to read. I'll just get some chips. Do you want to drive? Chip?
No, thanks.
They're really good. Look, I just have to ask. Do you have a problem doing this job with me?
What kind of problem?
I don't know, you've just been kind of funny the last couple of days. You seem pissed off with me.
Do we have to get going or not?
Fine. Drive on.
Unlike what you see in the anatomy texts, God the Creator did not make us with numbers painted on our vertebrae. You have to understand that once you're in, you're looking through an incision this big, because people don't like scarring, particularly ballerinas. That's the restriction that we work with. People would rather I operate blind than increase the amount of their scarring.
Remind me to start a trend for bigger incisions.
Infection.
Through this delicate incision, you're looking at a structure that you've never seen before, and there are no landmarks to count you up 3 or 5 from base camp.
So instructional Jerry here is pretty much useless.
Well, not useless, but a guide only.
But when you got in there, why didn't you simply notice that the disc was not damaged?
I'm sorry, but the pathology that I was expecting to see was sufficiently similar.
What, so you're saying both discs were damaged?
It's not unusual.
They are going to ask why you waited 6 months between the initial surgery and the scan.
Well, she needed 6 months for healing, so there was no point in doing a scan before that.
She was complaining of ongoing back pain, though.
Not immediately. Initially, the pain management program seemed to be working quite well. Martine is one of those intense people that work at suffering for their art. I felt sorry for her. I always thought that she could have done with a good feed, quite frankly.
What pain management was she on?
The usual. Pethidine in hospital. She went home on a mixture of codeine and ibuprofen, which I expected to reduce to simple paracetamol in a few weeks. That would have done it.
Well, if Miss Fallon's pain was becoming a problem, why did it take you so long to contemplate the possibility of error?
Do you have any idea of how many people are walking around in the community with non-specific back pain? It's epidemic numbers. I did become concerned when I got a report from her GP that she was requesting pethidine regularly. But even then, I didn't think of the surgery. It occurred to me that there might have been a problem with addiction.
A reasonably plausible mistake, not negligence.
Reasonably plausible. I can hear the sound of cash registers ringing already.
He came clean. He rang and told the patient as soon as the CT scan came back.
But he didn't do the scan in response to the patient telling him that she was in pain. He waited. He made her wait. That's their argument for negligence.
He thought she was addicted to painkillers. That's the problem. And it won't be an easy one to argue.
OK, let's put that aside for the moment. Let's look at it in more practical terms. What injury was caused to the ballerina by our member?
Further to the injury she already had, none.
Oh, that's good news.
Still, if the damaged disc was left untreated, no wonder the woman was asking for drugs. He wasn't very sympathetic about that.
On that basis, we need to make a case for mistake over negligence. I just wish there was one more gritty fact on our side.
Well, most neurosurgeons have operated on the wrong level at least once.
And do you know this for a fact?
We can canvass a few opinions. The other thing is, ballerinas are pretty intense, like Corsi said. I used to live with this girl who was a seamstress with the ballet. She stitched ballerinas into tutus. She had eye-popping stories.
Now, when you say lived with, are you still on speaking terms with this woman?
Yeah? What's my reason?
Research.
Hey, do you think the tradie would tell us how much Buckland is forking out for these extensions?
You can ask him.
Hi.
How's it going?
Pretty good, thanks. Are you the builder?
No, I'm just the grunt.
Pretty major extensions.
Yeah, half the roof collapsed in a hailstorm last week. No rain for 3 months, then a storm that just about knocks the town off the map.
Wow. Is the doctor in?
You got a problem?
We're meant to meet him here.
You from MDA?
Yeah, that's right.
Gus Buckland. Welcome.
Simon
How do
Lloyd.
you do?
When you work 80 hours a week, to be accused of over-servicing cracks me up.
I guess it must take its toll on your family.
I'm divorced. I thought about suing Medicare for that. What do you reckon my chances are of a payout?
Slim.
Grab us a spade, will you?
What do you need that for?
Mario's septic's backed up again. Now, you might be glad of these.
Right.
All right, that's everything. I got about 5 calls to make, so we better hit the road.
Okay, now you do understand we're going to need something better than your records to prove a case that these visits are preventative medicine.
I put down all the service numbers. Why should I have to do any more than a GP in the city has to do?
Because you seem to be seeing your patients more often than a city GP would, which is why Medicare is investigating it.
It should be patently obvious what I'm doing. Who the hell are these bureaucrats anyway?
Well, they've only got the Medicare slips to go on. You know, they just want to see what you're doing every day. Get the facts, see how the money's being spent.
Need energy to cope with the excessive weight of hospital protocol. Forced on me by an unfilling boss. Solace in chocolate. Very wise. In Russia, a woman accepts food from a man is tantamount to accepting marriage proposal.
So I hear you did a perfectly wonderful plaster cast this morning.
Yeah. The man was so drunk. I said to Bob Burton we should give him Russian special. 2 more swigs from the bottle. And we save hospital money on anesthetic.
Maybe next time you want to save hospital money, you might ask me. I'm not sure Bob Burton sees a funny side.
He's oblivious to funny side. You have a beautiful smile, Dr. Ella.
Cute. You probably should know that the hospital has a policy about saying personal things to other members of staff while they're on duty.
No, I understand. It's political correctness. Makes us all very proper, very uninteresting.
Yeah, it does.
There's the woman I left my wife for. Hazel!
Go on in, I'll be right up.
She doesn't look sick.
You don't have to do that.
Just don't kill yourself on the red gum.
Oh, damn, I haven't got any biscuits left. Look in that cupboard there, love. Jack's always got a spare packet of creams. Whew, I'm all over sweat.
It's low blood sugar, Hazel.
Oh,
We've been through...
in one ear and out the other.
Ooh, I'm going to stick a new battery in your smoke alarm while I'm here.
What's the point? Who's going to come when it goes off? Jack can't hear it.
Nobody comes, you get out.
He's got me down to 1 milligram. Pretty soon I'll be smoking tissue paper. Get those cups down, love. And the sugar's over there.
Does Dr. Buckland drop in often?
Oh, I don't know. Comes to give me my B12 shots and does my blood pressure checks and lines up all my pills in this. Don't you, love? He's as deaf as a post.
So how often would that turn out to be?
Well, don't keep count. Lots, I suppose. I think he fancies me.
You know I do, Hazel. Oh, now, that smoke alarm.
Amanda, stop being a lawyer.
I'm just trying to find out the facts. Hazel, could I use your bathroom?
Yeah, down the hall on your left.
Thanks.
How long you been married?
No, we're not married.
You act like you are.
Do we?
Yeah.
What you doing?
Oh, Jack's gout pills. Vintage 1989.
Is she taking them?
Who knows? Last week I found the dog's heart pills in with hers.
Wouldn't that kill her?
I haven't so far, but it's on the cards.
What's Jack like?
Well, Jack's dead. Early dementia. Mostly, she's pretty good.
Family?
Childless.
So you're it?
Not entirely. There's community support. It's not enough.
Funny place to be entertaining women. Maybe you better not look. He's got your girlfriend in the dunny with him. Are you lot staying for dinner? Jack'll like that. I'll kill a chook.
Oh, we have to still visit Ted yet.
How's he going?
No good.
Oh, I got a dozen eggs you can take him. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Is it standard course of action when a dancer suffers an injury like Martine's to terminate their contract?
Well, not at all. Martine came back during PT.
PT? What's
Physical therapy.
All right.
She trained with the company, but it was apparent she'd lost too much form.
How was it apparent?
Oh, couldn't hold a leg extension longer than a few seconds. Couldn't do anything on point at all.
At the time of her injury, Martine claims that she was up for the lead part in a thing called Giselle. Is that right?
Martine is Giselle. I don't think so. Well, 3 years ago, we might have considered her, but even then it wouldn't have been certain. Oh, it's not crucial to her claim, is it? I'll lie about it if you want.
No, Kel, it's not crucial. I'm just trying to paint a picture of her abilities before and after the surgery, that's all.
Adequate and nil. Anyway, good luck to her. She deserves something for her misery. Excuse me.
Kel, one other thing. There's this choreography course that she's planning to do in New York.
What? I wouldn't believe everything you're told. Zoe, over here, darling. Zoe knows her. Excuse me.
Sorry, I am Richard Savage. I'm representing Martine Fallon. I believe you're a friend of hers.
Oh, we came up together, but we've sort of lost touch.
Okay.
So how is she?
She's not bad.
Still need drugs? Painkillers. I mean painkillers.
She's still on painkillers, yes.
She said in passing that dancers' bodies are pretty much stuffed by the time they're 30. She also said there was talk of Martine Fallon being a druggie.
A druggie? What drugs?
The usual range.
Pain or pleasure?
Party drugs. Amphetamines for weight control, maybe. And then she moved up a notch.
Heroin?
Recreational only, she stressed that.
That is a ridiculous distinction. It's like cutting your throat for fun.
But she thinks it didn't get out of hand until after the disc damage.
Out of hand? I'd like to know what constitutes in hand.
But it gives us some leverage, doesn't it?
It might.
Look, I've got to get to emergency.
Okay. Layla, could you get Leon Corsi on the phone for me, please?
Mm-hmm.
I'll make you some coffee.
No, it's fine. I probably should have called first. Martine, I want to clarify something from you. Are you having a few financial difficulties at the moment?
I owe some money that I would like to pay back.
Right. I called in at the ballet.
What were you doing there?
I wanted to find out why your contract was terminated.
You could have asked me.
I thought it was best that I asked them.
What did they say? I'm unreliable.
Why would they say that?
I was a principal dancer. They offered me a teaching position. Part-time, not all that generous, in junior school. And if that wasn't come down enough, I had to take so many pills to be able to do it. I didn't know whether I was coming or going, and neither did they.
I'd like you to have a psychiatric assessment.
So you can prove what?
We don't need to prove anything. It helps me build a profile and get a greater understanding of what you're actually going through.
Did they request it?
They? What?
Mr. Corsi's solicitors.
No, it's something that I'm asking for. Now, I got the name of someone who said he'd see you straight away as a favour to me. I can make an appointment for you now if you like.
I can do it. It's not a problem. I'm pretty busy at the moment.
No, it's fine.
Has anyone rung DHS?
I think they're sending someone over.
Someone better give the child a check-up.
Yeah, Dr. Bronin has her.
What's going on here?
OD. Amber's gave her an ampoule of Narcan, but she's not responding. We don't know what else she's taken. Injected herself at the front door with a kid on her lap. The kid was hysterical.
Hello, Sir Miss Trench.
I've had 3 complaints. One from a patient who said he told her to go home and bathe in Condis crystals and eat lots of garlic.
What, this is the bladder infection last night?
Very good advice if you're snowed in during a Siberian winter, I'm sure, but that wasn't the case.
There are no other patient complaints.
No, but there are from doctors, Bob Burton specifically. Mikar won't take any notice of him. He doesn't follow instructions.
No, he doesn't follow some instructions. The guy is a maverick, but he has bloody good instincts.
Burton's already given him 2 warnings. I want you to tell him he's on his last chance. If there are any more complaints, you'll have to let him go.
I'll look into it.
Don't waste any time. We'll have to get on to replacing him.
Okay, so we need to highlight his patient's need for maintenance care in light of their immobility, in light of the lack of support services, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, but will it be enough to get Medicare to close the file? Oh, what about that woman with the bad leg and all the dogs?
Jean Disher, yeah. she was amazing.
And Nugget. What was his name?
Nugget Connolly.
Yeah.
Gus has got him down here as AAA. That's arthritis, angina, and hardening of the arteries.
Well, if that doesn't kill him, his home brew will.
You know, I think it's the home brew that keeps Nugget alive. You've seen enough of my day's graft, have you?
Yes, thank you. And also thanks for these. They certainly added atmosphere to my rural experience.
We're going to head back to the office and we're going to redraft the letter to Medicare, and I really think we've seen enough to put together a convincing case for you.
If they decide to get tough, which they could, then they might refer you to the Director of Professional Services Review. He might then set up a committee to investigate.
And that's a possibility you really need to know about.
The Gus Buckland Royal Commission. Sounds like taxpayers' money well spent. Now, what I should do is sacrifice Ted Strawn. Just go cold turkey on the visits, then find him dead, covered in bed sores with the dogs licking his toes.
Then when the media come down and make a song and dance about cutting services to the bush, they might make your case work for you.
But you couldn't do that to Ted, could you? So for now, you reckon we put our faith in a letter?
Yeah, it can't hurt.
Safe drive.
Thanks.
I might see you in town when I bring Hazel up for some tests.
Is there a service number for taking someone up to the city for tests?
Don't worry, I'll invent one.
Ted Strawn, Medicare's got a please explain on 5 visits between the 9th and the 30th of March.
Well, you heard what he said. With funding cuts to the area, Ted gets, 1 visit a week from the community nurse. He gets 2 visits a week from Buckland. From what I saw of Ted Strawn, he needs around-the-clock care.
They all did. That old bloke with the leg ulcer as well.
Gus seemed like a decent, genuine guy.
Yeah, he did.
You made an impression on Hazel.
Oh, she's great. I hope I'm still chopping wood at her age.
Still.
What was the matter with her anyway?
Apart from dementia, emphysema, hypertension, pernicious anemia, she had a breast removed, I think, 7 years ago, and now has suspected metastasis in the right lung.
Oh. Yeah, she thought we had a thing going on. But what would she know? The old duck still talks to her dead husband. Simon, this is totally directed at me, isn't it? This thing you're pissed off about.
Forget about it.
Look, we've worked together today and it's great. But underneath, I know you're still pissed off about something. I think we should talk about what is bugging you. Let's get it out in the open.
Who says there's anything bugging me?
Of course there is. What is it?
Nothing. Nothing. It's none of my business.
What isn't?
If you sleep with Richard Savage.
I'd like to know where you heard that particular rumour.
I don't think that's relevant.
Happy. I'll take that as a yes. Happy, or someone, but probably Happy, has told you that he's heard that I've slept with Richard Savage, and you don't even consider whether it might be true or not. You don't even do something so simple as ask.
I didn't think it was appropriate to ask.
I'm very sensitive in your age.
I've already said it's none of my business.
Well, you got that right.
Okay, you've made your point.
Everything's a joke to him. You ask him a question, he gives an answer so convoluted you waste 10 minutes just deciphering it.
Maybe you should speak to him. I have.
It's like talking to a wall.
Well, not about work, about the man, his life, for heaven's sake.
Sorry if I seem cynical about this,
Two
but...
ambulances coming in MVA.
Where's radiology?
Can't raise anyone.
You page them or send someone? I think his airway's obstructed. We need suction. Chewing gum. Pass me the tube. Pilgrim passenger?
Hit oncoming traffic. We lost. What have you got?
Widen mediastinum. Contact radiology again. Tell them we need an emergency scan. Mikhail, can you check the X-ray for me? See what you can see. Left hemothorax.
Blood.
Yeah, but from where?
Torn aorta.
Okay, forget radiology. Prep emergency theatre. Tell them we need a cardiothoracic surgeon. Ask for Mark Matthews, okay?
I think he's still in theatre.
We need more blood.
Mr. Matthews out yet? How long? Theatre 2 an hour away. Mark Matthews has still got 15 minutes, 10, maybe in one.
Bleeding's in the chest. A ruptured aorta.
BP?
Down to 70, saturation's 90.
The lung's being compressed.
Jamie, we need Mark Matthews.
All right, see what the hold-up is.
This man can't wait any longer.
Is Dr. Moon here?
Off the floor.
Pulse dropping.
I can do this. Thoracotomy tray?
Not in emergency.
Get one.
Hang on, you can't do thoracic surgery.
BP's dropped below 70. If he paralyzes, this is very bad news. I can fix it. All I need is scalpel, someone to assist.
Have you contacted Mark Matthews? He's on tonight.
We're trying, Liz. How are we doing?
I'm still waiting on an answer.
This boy is dead
We need
in
to
2
know
minutes if we don't
priority.
stop the bleeding. Where's the thoracotomy
When can we
tray?
get him here?
Mikhail, can you manage without?
Yes.
You better not go ahead with this.
Liz, do we have an estimate?
He's 6 minutes away.
That's too long. Go ahead, Mikhail. Get some Beck and some Fire drawn up.
When I can, you must do the spreading of ribs.
We're losing a pulse.
He's totally outside his terms of employment.
Okay, let's do it.
Scalpel. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yes, I have. Yeah.
I walk in and I find your friend with his hand in the patient's chest cavity, squeezing his bloody aorta with his fingers, for Christ's sake.
There was no thoracotomy tray. He was saving the patient's life.
Well, you wait, Ella. Burton will be on to Oswald about this first thing in the morning, saying that you went in prematurely.
No, we didn't.
And that Veronin acted recklessly.
It was an emergency situation, and if there is a complaint to the medical board, fine, they will need to look into it.
Then, of course, there's the small matter of my position as senior cardiothoracic surgeon in this place being undermined.
No, you weren't being undermined. We were told you were 6 minutes away.
So who fucked up?
The time you needed to get there was predicted wrongly. It was basic human error.
Well, the way Burton's been carrying on, it was just the sort of human error that he's been waiting for.
No, we act in the best interests of our patients, and we do what we need to do to save their lives. Are you going to dispute that?
Not at all. But you better tell your mate to prepare himself.
This is your flat?
And this is my car.
Yeah, right.
Simon, you know what burns me up the most? You didn't ask me. It would have been the easiest thing in the world to do, and you didn't do it. You know, the other night, I could have slept with Richard Savage, but I didn't. Nothing happened. I didn't want to make the same mistake I always make.
That little voice again.
So what was the problem? Why didn't you speak to me?
I was jealous. I think.
I don't know what to say.
Nothing.
But there are implications.
I'm aware of them.
You know, if you're not in a hurry, you could come up for coffee.
The thing is, if I come up, I might want more than coffee.
Thursday will be fine. Bye-bye.
Hello.
Els.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How'd you go yesterday?
Went well, actually. Simon in?
Yeah, he's in the kitchen.
Thanks.
Amanda,
I'd really love to
Dr.
have a word.
Buckland.
He's lovely eccentric, but certainly not a crook.
Jamie?
However, our ability to defend his practices
Is problematic.
That's what Simon was saying.
I wouldn't mind a word with you if we could.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
What about?
Happy? I have to go to St Albans to give a witness statement to the hospital solicitor.
Oh.
There was an incident last night.
We've got mediation in half an hour.
I'm sorry, it's important.
Okay. Now, Simon can come with me.
Yep. You'll have to brief me on the way. This is Fallon Corsi.
Yeah. What was the incident?
Look, I'll tell you about it later.
Amanda, Gus Buckland phoned earlier. He's going to call by after he's dropped Hazel off at the hospital. I told him we'd have that Medicare draft letter ready for him.
No worries, I'll take care of it.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Gita? Yeah, no, Martine hasn't called the office, has she? No, we're waiting for her here. Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks.
No show?
No, mobile's switched off.
Well, it's 20 past. Do you want to postpone?
We can proceed with the negotiation. She's probably on her way.
I'll see how Bill feels.
Mm-hmm. Shit, come on.
We concede that the incorrect disc was operated on, but I don't need to tell you that with any back surgery there is a high percentage of risk.
No, you don't.
And this unfortunate mistake falls unremarkably into that area of risk. Now, as we all know, negligence is a mistake without appropriate care, but in this instance, appropriate care was taken.
Bill, come on, man. Your doctor blundered in, fixed the nearest disc at hand, and then sewed my patient up again.
No, there was
What's that about?
there was no blunder. The fact is, he used all the tools medical science provides for finding the right level. I refer you to his notes.
Thank you, I've read his notes. Tokyo, 2000. Sydney, 2001. This was taken 2 months before the operation.
2 months before she fell over in the shower. An accident which, taking surgery and rehabilitation into account, would probably have spelled the end of her career anyway.
Melbourne, 2001. You tell a jury that that is what washed up looks like, and I will show them a talented ballerina with a list of roles that she would have performed for many seasons to come.
Prior to sabotaging her chances by contributing to her own pain and suffering.
The suggestion is absurd, Bill, even coming from you. Come on.
I think you ought to explain that statement.
She was a known narcotics user.
I hope you've got evidence to back that up.
Recreational only until after the operation, when she started using pethidine in larger and larger
Yeah,
and
okay,
larger
pethidine, because
quantities.
of the pain, her back pain that she was experiencing as a result of your surgeon's failure
No, we do not
to
dispute
operate
that Mr.
on the
Corsi
correct
operated
disc,
on the wrong
Bill.
disc.
Well,
But
thank
Ms.
God for
Fallon's
that.
excessive use of painkillers masked the symptoms which would have encouraged my client to do an earlier follow-up MRI.
There was no masking. She was in pain, endless, ongoing pain. How long was she supposed to scream for help?
I think you and I both know that your client's lifestyle was more dying swan than fairy princess.
I can't take this to court, Bill.
You won't need to.
Look, I don't know the case as well as Bill, but on the evidence presented, it's clear to me they don't have a case for negligence.
We're also discounting one vital point in our favour. Savage can't make a concrete claim without his ballerina present to instruct him.
So what the hell are we doing here?
Holding the aces. Trust me, Leon, I'm a lawyer.
Bob Burton intends arguing that Mark Matthews was minutes away and that we should have waited.
How does one accurately predict time? Even in a hospital such as this one, with checks for this and protocols for that, it's impossible.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, it was my decision.
But do you think you might be in trouble?
If we had to do it all again, I'd make the same decision. Anyway, I'll make the strongest case I can so that hopefully it won't affect your registration.
Thank you, very kind.
You know, you're very hard to read.
Well, you know, it's possible I lose a little in translation.
I'm not sure that's always an accident. Yeah.
want to take you dancing, Doctorella. I know it's cultural nicety to refuse a stranger. But if I ask you 3 times, you'll say yes?
Mikhail, you really need to know you could be in terrible trouble with the board.
Always in trouble. You don't need to stand beside me. But I don't expect you to stick your chin out.
My neck out.
That won't be necessary either. That's a very nice neck.
We've come here in good faith. We've discussed the case, we've put our arguments on the table for scrutiny, and now we're being asked to mark time.
Bill, I do apologise for the inconvenience, but I am reluctant to put a figure until my client is present.
Bill, why don't you at least put an offer on the table? Richard can take it away and discuss it with his client.
Good thinking, Jeffrey. A very generous $40,000 all in. It's on the table for 48 hours.
It's longer than mine.
We smoothed out some of your invective as well.
Probably for the best. Always better not to insult the people you're trying to woo, isn't it?
It's a good idea. How's Hazel?
Bit confused when I left her.
How long does she have to stay in hospital?
Oh, there's no way she can be looked after back home. If she ends up having to have chemo, it'll knock her around.
She seems resilient, though.
On her own turf. She'll go downhill pretty rapidly while she's in hospital. They all do. There's nothing anyone can do about it. Anyway, this is all the extra stuff they requested. It's more records and referrals, prescriptions.
Great.
Stayed up all last night sorting it out. Kind of thing you do in lieu of a sex life.
Layla.
Yep.
Can you do some photocopies for us? Sure.
No disrespect, Amanda, but I don't give much cred to a punitive health system focused on doctors at the expense of patients.
No one says it's perfect. All we need to do is clarify the nature of your practice and the requirements of your patients.
Yeah. Thanks for taking the time to come out.
Oh, no worries. You know, if you get a chance, I might go up and see Hazel.
She'd like that. Oncology, 5th floor.
She made quite an impression. I've never had anyone offer to kill me a chook before.
Oh, what a deprived life you've led.
Bye-bye. Hap, have you got a minute?
What do you want to tell me?
I want to tell you to keep out of my private life. Who I sleep with is none of your business.
I beg to differ, Amanda. If you're having it off with someone from an opposing law firm, it would severely compromise your work at MDA.
Well, I'm not, so it doesn't.
You're telling me there's no conflict of interest?
I've told you before there is no conflict of interest. And I'm also telling you that if you ever hear anything that concerns me, I'd appreciate it if you talk to me about it first, rather than making it the topic of the day. Okay?
Martine? Martine, it's Richard. Richard Savage? Hello? I'm requesting that the offer remain on the table for 28 days.
28 days? What's the deal?
I need time to put a litigation guardian in place and check my client into detox. Now, I've organised a psych assessment.
Oh, there you go. I would have thought.
Phil, don't... Come on, don't get smug on me, you know. Of course, he wrote a great deal of those pethidine prescriptions himself, didn't he?
But the heroin she managed to get hold of herself.
I am trying to propose a humane agreement here.
Oh, excuse me. Bill Henderson. Could you elaborate, Jamison? Is she still at St. Albans? Okay, now I'll look into it. Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's fine. What I was saying is right now there is a good chance that any of the money that she will get shot straight up her arm. But if you give us a little bit of time, she's got a good chance of rebuilding her life.
You're not hot on this girl by any chance?
No. She needs help. There's no agenda here. 28 days, yes? No?
The offer's on the table for 28 days. After that, all bets are off. But if you'll excuse me, I've got some business to attend to.
It's a witch hunt. I mean, Burton's afraid of him because he's a much better doctor than he is. And Oswald, who doesn't have a mind of his own, is, prejudiced.
Who's representing Veronin?
Well, no one yet. I'm hoping it doesn't even come to that.
Well, my advice is that you make a statement and then stay out of it.
No.
Well, the fact is that the man's life would have been saved anyway. Despite what the nurse said, Mark was less than 2 minutes away. The hospital system worked. But instead of trusting the system, we've now got an unqualified surgeon ripping open someone's chest in the middle of an unsterilised emergency department.
What? How? And that would make certain people nervous? What, look bad in the hands of the tabloid press? I told the man to go ahead.
You're after him, not you.
Do you really think I'm going to stand aside and let them deep fry one of the really good ones?
You must be somewhat fond of this man, are you?
No. I mean, you know, I like him, but...
Should never knock one back. A blessing. I'm offering you my blessing.
Thank heavens.
Anyway, I shall withhold it until I get the chance to assess this bloke for myself. Do you know there's not one person in the office that I can interest in playing chess? It's tragic. Is there a record for the longest chess game in history, do you think?
Well, if there is, I think we've got it in the bag.
Martine! Martine! Martine? Martine?
Tell him to give Layla a ring to make an appointment coming, but I can't promise anything.
Well, I might just suggest it. I don't think he takes very kindly to being told anything.
Sounds like it might be hard work.
She reminds me of someone.
In that case, run a mile. Savage.
Ah, I will.
Richard.
How can I help you?
Martine fell on overdose this afternoon. Bill, I just want to say a quick thanks for the leeway that you gave me on this one. I appreciate it. It's just a pity it didn't work out.
Hello, Hazel. It's Amanda. Dr. Buckland's friend. I came to visit you at your house, remember?
Yeah, that's right. Gus went to my house. He'll be telling Jack where I am. Mind he leaves my pills alone. The last time I checked, I was taking dog tablets. No wonder I'm feeling woofy. Think they'd mind if I lit up?
I don't think it's allowed.
Oh.
But they'll look after you here, Hazel.
Bull dust.
What are you after? Can I help?
Pack of cards. Can't keep my fingers still. There's a game at Wally Grisham's tonight. With a bit of luck, Jack will bring home the bacon, not drink it.
Enjoys a bit of a tipple, does he?
Oh, God help me, love, does he what? That young bloke, he was a good-looking sort. You go for him?
I don't know. Whoever knows about these things, Hazel?
You could get lucky.
Hello?
I'm a sad, sick, troubled individual. Having difficulty keeping faith in a place where I'm always misunderstood.
I can only imagine how you feel. Don't stop, you're a good doctor. Have you called any of the medical insurers?
No. Maybe tomorrow. Tonight I want to drive you home. Maybe we could talk.
Thank you, but I've got my own car.
Oh, good. I have no car. No license either.
Oh, really? So how were you intending to drive me home?
Oh, it's open in Gambit only. You drive. I'll accompany you. Maybe after we can go dancing. It's third invitation.
Get in, Mikhail, you'll catch a cold.
Thank you.
So Buckland is cleared of further action, but he's only covered for monthly visits from now on. How on earth will he continue to do what he's doing?
I don't know.
They expect him to do the other visits as charity, which will cost the government nothing, but will probably kill Gus Buckland.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye, Laos.
Bye.
See you.
See you, Lola.
Half asleep when you left this morning. When did you leave? It must have been early.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry, I just had to go home. I had to organise a few things.
It's okay. I understand. It would have been nice to have breakfast together.
Yeah, well, there's always tomorrow.